Hi, my name is Marie Laveria and my channel is Living with Simplicity and Discovering What Matters. Again, I am in my friend's house, much bigger and busier than my cottage. Anyway, my bathroom is still being renovated. A few glitches came up, so I am here longer than I expected, but I love it. I'm right on the beach. So today we're having a rainy day. So it's not the best weather, but the ocean's still beautiful to see, the waves and all. Anyway, I had feedback on my last video on simplifying life, slowing the pace, especially when we retire, and not feel guilty about it. I had requests to give more specific instructions or ways of getting to that place. And so I thought I would take the opportunity today to create this video. So the first thing that I recommend, I'm speaking only from myself, what worked for me. So you have to adjust it to your own style, your own taste, and your own personality. But the first thing that I did is I made a list of everything I value in my life. Everything I value in my life, every person I value in my life, and every event I value in my life or activity. And when I say value, I mean you absolutely love to have these things, people doing things like this in your life. You really, really value it. It makes you feel joy, makes your passion flow. It gives you great joy. So I'll talk about the first list. It's the list of things I value. Now, I'll give you my examples just to give you an idea what I'm talking about. I value my cold brew coffee. I found this coffee in the store, in the refrigerated section. It's a cold brew, and it's called Stock. And they're not paying me to say that, but that's the one I tried. I tried all of them, and this is the best one. I have acid reflux, so GERD, and it's been proven. I read this online. Several studies have proven that cold brew is the smoothest coffee, less acid than any other coffee. So I started drinking the cold brew, and I can't drink regular coffee when I go to the restaurant. It gives me acid reflux immediately. But the cold brew is smooth and very low in acid. And of course, I love half and half in my coffee. Makes it even smoother. So anyway, I love my coffee in the morning, at least 2 cups. So I look forward to that every day, and I value that. That's an example of what I value. I value a comfortable bed and pillow. I have one of those thick foam over a comfortable mattress. It's very comfortable. And we sleep about a third of our day. So it's important to have something that's comfortable. So I value a comfortable bed and pillow. And then I value a shower that has lots of pressure and lots of hot water. Simple stuff like that. I value living in a small space because I enjoy living in a small space. I enjoy not having to clean for 4 hours. I cleaned my friend's house here, and it took me 4 hours to do the whole thing. Very quickly too. I work very fast. So I can clean my cottage in 20 minutes, the whole thing. So I love living in a small space. It just makes me feel cozy, and my small space is across the street from the beach, and I can afford it. And I can go on a beach walk every day. It's 3 minutes walk across the street to the path down to the ocean with my dog. I really value that. Then I value activities. I value the activity of doing calligraphy. I love composing my own poetry and then putting it in calligraphy and adding some graphics to it, like art, flowers, or things that enlightens the calligraphy, makes it nicer. And then I love to write. I wrote 3 books already, and I'm still writing. I'm not planning to publish another book, but I write all the time, my thoughts, my reflections. I wrote a 35-page paper as a memoir. It was such an a therapeutic experience for me to do that. As I retired, I've been retired for 6 months fully, and doing my memoir a few months ago helped me realize, what happened to me in my life. And so when we remember what happened in the past, it's easier to move forward. So I value writing. I value doing calligraphy, taking pictures of nature, photography. I have greeting cards that I give to friends. I frame and mat some for gifts. I just have a knack with my camera on my phone. I take beautiful nature photographs, I'm told. I love them, but other people think that they're great too. My friend thinks I have an eye for photography. So I have these things that I love to do, these events. Going to take a walk on the beach is an event. It's an activity, it's something I do. So in the event list, you write things you do. And I really think being creative is an extremely important thing to do, to find what you like to be creative with. People that garden, that's a creative activity. You're planting seeds or seedlings, and you're creating beautiful flowers. And so remember what it is that you value as far as creating, and write it down. It'll take you a few days to write that 3-part list of what you value in your life. So the things, the events, activities, and then the people. And with the people, I say, don't feel guilty if you only put a few people down that you really value. It's people you put on your list, the people that make you feel great, that know you and love you just the way you are. They don't want you to change. They just appreciate who you are, just as you are. And you love being with them. They make you feel good. Those are the people that you put on your list. There might be a bunch of relatives that you just not put on your list because they don't make you feel good. They just happen to be related to you. Or you see even some people that you would consider friends that are not the greatest friends. They take more than they give. So be very, choosy with your people list, people that you value. It's people that you love to be with that make you feel great. So that's something that I suggest to people to do this thing you value, things, people, and events and activities that you value, a list, a 3-part list, as you start retiring or right before you retire. So that will give you ideas on how you'll spend your time. Because if you want to slow the pace of your life, you need to have things to do that makes you happy and joyful and has your passion flow. You're still alive. Just because you're retired doesn't mean you just sit in the rocking chair and watch TV and do nothing. That's not slowing the pace of your life and enjoying retirement. That's it's not a healthy thing to do. But making a list, a 3-part list of everything you value in your life, is a good start to get you going with what your retirement will look like. Another aspect that helps in slowing the pace of our lives and not feeling guilty is to look at our finances. I looked at my finances, a lot because I'm alone as far as my finances go. And I was a social worker, a licensed clinical therapist, and we don't make a lot of money, but I made enough to live comfortably. And I made sure that I don't waste. If you know what you spend your money on, make a list of everything you spend your money on a monthly basis. When I tell people to make a list of everything that they spend their money on, they freak out. It's so big, it's so much. Monthly, what did you spend last month? Look in your checkbook, your credit cards, whatever it is that you pay things with, and write it down. How much money did you spend on food? How much money did you spend on gasoline? We all have a cell phone, internet, insurance for a car, and maybe fire insurance for your apartment or your house. My rent includes all the utilities, so it makes it simple for me, but a lot of people have to pay for electricity, propane, heating oil, everything, the sewer, the water, everything you spend money on a monthly basis. Now, if your amount is due on a yearly basis, you take that amount and divide it into 12 to have the monthly picture. If you pay your water bill every quarter, then you multiply it by 4 and then you divide it by 12. So have a monthly amount of money that you need to live on. Now, some people are very wealthy and they don't think about that. But if you're not very wealthy, the majority of us aren't, if you know where your money goes and you have control over, I got rid of a lot of things that I was spending money on because I didn't need it. So it was very helpful because in the long run, the money you receive when you retire, whether it's a retirement plan, a pension, Social Security, to be honest with you, I just have Social Security and I have a small savings. So I have a pad, so to speak, and I'm able to wait till I'm 70 in a couple of months to actually start getting Social Security because I'm living on my savings right now. But I'll still have some savings as a pad because I was frugal and I saved before, like when I first got to the cottage 7-8 years ago. So if you know your financial picture, you can relax and not worry about earning money. You can slow the pace of your life. If you have to earn money, you can still slow the pace of your life and include a job in there. And that's what I meant by knowing your finances causes you to be able to choose the way you want to live. And so slowing the pace of life does not mean you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're not able to do things. It means that you're choosing to go at a pace of living that's comfortable for you. I know that I used to go to college. I had a family, a young family when I started college, and I used to work. And I used to do it all. And it was hard, but I managed. And I think about that today and I say, oh my God, I could never have handled that. I can't handle that today. My mind is a little slower in thinking. I'm much more at peace. So slowing the pace of your life gives you a lot of peace. Doing things that you value in your life gives you a lot of joy. It makes your passion flow. And so peace and joy are great. And I hope that was helpful. A few suggestions on how to slow the pace of your life. And I tell people, you earned, at our age, we've earned doing nothing. We've earned the right to sit down and have a cup of coffee and look at the waves. We've earned the right to slow down. And I think even young people it's important for them to learn to slow down in their own way, because I think a lot of our culture is so go, 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 and it makes people have anxiety and burnout real fast. It's not quality of life. So I hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.